Hey football fans! So, Ousmane Dembélé has officially won the 2025 Ballon d'Or. Huge achievement and well deserved. But let's flip the script for a second. What if he didn't win? What if someone else snatched that golden ball away from him? Who would have been the rightful successor? Today, we're diving into that alternate reality. The top stars who could have lifted the trophy if Dembélé hadn't. Some of these names will absolutely shock you because the race was way closer than most people think. So buckle up, because this is about to get interesting. The alternate landscape. If not Dembélé, then who? Everyone knows Dembélé just had a brilliant season. Barcelona's talisman, France's spark, highlight reels every week. But here's the twist. Even the best campaigns can still be overshadowed. Just imagine, if Dembélé had picked up an injury late in the season, or if Barcelona had stumbled in Europe, the Ballon d'Or could easily have gone elsewhere. Football has proven this before. Remember 2022? After the World Cup final, many thought Mbappé had made the ultimate case with that historic hat-trick. But Messi still swooped in and took the Ballon d'Or 2023. Key stat: in the last 10 years, only 3 pre-season favourites actually went on to win the Ballon d'Or. That's a 70% upset rate. So trust me, there were players waiting in the shadows, ready to grab their chance. And here are the strongest candidates. All right, let's dive in. If Dembélé hadn't lifted the Ballon d'Or, who would have stepped up to claim football's ultimate prize? Let's break down the contenders, starting with our first candidate.
Candidate number 1, Kylian Mbappé, the eternal contender. If not Dembélé, Mbappé has always been the most obvious heir. I know, you're probably thinking, again with Mbappé? But hear me out. Every time there's a major international tournament or Champions League run, this guy dominates the headlines. He already has a World Cup and a Golden Boot on his resume, and if PSG or Real Madrid had gone deeper in Europe, the narrative could easily have tilted his way. In football politics, spotlight matters, and Mbappé knows how to own it. This man has been knocking on the Ballon d'Or door for years. He's got the speed, the goals, the big game performances. Real Madrid gave him the stage he's always dreamed of, and let's be honest, if Madrid had won the 2025 Champions League with Mbappé leading the charge, it could have been game over for everyone else. Here's what makes him dangerous: consistency. While other players have hot and cold streaks, Mbappé delivers year after year. Last season alone, he scored 44 goals in 48 games. That's not just impressive, that's Ballon d'Or winning numbers. Plus, let's face it, the man's been collecting runner-up trophies like Pokemon cards. At some point, the football gods have to throw him a bone, right? But here's the kicker. Mbappé's biggest advantage might be narrative. Everyone loves a story of perseverance, and him finally getting his golden ball after years of near misses, that's pure Hollywood material. The only question is, can he stay injury-free and lead Madrid to European glory? Because if he does... Strong case, no doubt, but he's not alone, because right behind him, another superstar is waiting to snatch the spotlight. Candidate number 2, Erling Haaland, the goal machine. Next up, Erling Haaland. If Dembélé hadn't won, this Norwegian powerhouse would have been impossible to ignore. Goals are his language, and he speaks it fluently. 52 goals in 53 games last season. That's not just impressive, that's video game numbers, people. What makes him a legit Ballon d'Or threat? Volume. While other players might have better technical skills or playmaking abilities, Haaland just scores, and scores, and scores some more. Manchester City has built their entire system around getting him the ball in deadly positions, and Pep Guardiola basically turned the team into a goal delivery service for him. Champions League finals? Premier League deciders? Haaland shows up every single time. And let's be real, defenders hate him so much, he probably has a fan club made entirely of elbows and studs just trying to stop him. If City dominates Europe again and Haaland maintains this insane scoring streak, voters could hardly ignore him. Projection-wise, he could hit 60-plus goals in the 2024 to 2025 season, peak Messi and Ronaldo numbers. And here's the kicker, he's only 24. This could easily be the start of his golden era. Big numbers plus big moments plus youth and potential equals a serious what-if Ballon d'Or contender. Strong case, no doubt, but he's not alone, because right behind him, another superstar is waiting to snatch the spotlight. Candidate number 3. Jude Bellingham, the complete player. Next up, we have Jude Bellingham, probably the most interesting candidate on our list. And before you say he's too young, remember this. Mbappe finished 4th in the Ballon d'Or race when he was just 19. What makes Bellingham so special isn't just his age, it's his complete skill set. This guy can defend, create, score, and lead. He's basically the Swiss Army knife of football players. Real Madrid didn't pay 103 million euros for potential. They bought someone who can change games single-handedly. And in his first season, 23 goals and 13 assists from midfield. That's not just impressive, that's, I might steal the Ballon d'Or from a superstar, impressive. And let's not forget, he's only 22. He's doing things on the pitch most players twice his age can't even imagine. Here's the thing about Bellingham that really stands out. He's a big game player. El Clasico, he scores. Champions League knockout rounds, he delivers. England national team, he steps up. Stat bomb. He scored in 67% of the biggest matches he's played this season. Pure clutch gene material. The narrative writes itself. A young English star leading Real Madrid to European glory while carrying England on the international stage. If that had happened, Dembélé's Ballon d'Or might have been in serious jeopardy. And can a midfielder really win in today's goal-obsessed era? Well, Modric did it in 2018, so it's definitely possible. Strong case, no doubt, but he's not alone, because right behind him, another superstar is waiting to snatch the spotlight.
Hey, if you're loving these what-if predictions, go ahead and smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming football breakdowns. All right, enough chatter. Let's jump back to our candidates, because the next one is a real surprise you won't want to miss.
Candidate number 4, Vinicius Jr., the X Factor. Here's a name that might catch some of you off guard. Vinicius Jr. But before you scroll past, hear me out. This Brazilian wizard could easily have been the dark horse of 2025. Real Madrid's left wing? That's his personal playground. Defenders dread him. One moment he's tracking back to defend, the next he's curling a solo goal from 40 yards out. Unpredictability is his superpower, and sometimes that's exactly what voters love. Last season, 24 goals and 19 assists, plus standout performances in the biggest Champions League matches. But here's the real kicker, the Brazil factor. If Brazil had won Copa America or shined internationally with Vinicius leading the charge, that global spotlight could have tipped the Ballon d'Or race in his favor. And come on, his celebrations are so epic, FIFA might as well give him bonus points just for entertainment value. At 24, he's entering his prime. The perfect mix of experience, speed, and unpredictability. If Madrid needed a miracle goal, Vinicius delivers. And if voters wanted a little Brazilian flair to spice up the narrative, he had the charisma to steal the show. Sometimes the numbers alone aren't enough, but magic is unforgettable. Strong case, no doubt, but he's not alone, because right behind him, another superstar is waiting to snatch the spotlight. Candidate number 5, Pedri, the maestro. Finally, we have Pedri, the magician in midfield and the ultimate wildcard. Some of you might be thinking, a midfielder for the Ballon d'Or? But hold on, because this kid is something special. What makes Pedri dangerous isn't goals or flashy stats. It's control, vision, and pure football artistry. Barcelona's system runs entirely through him. 94% pass accuracy, 12 assists, creating more chances per game than most attacking midfielders, and that's just the numbers. On the pitch, he has that Iniesta-like magic, threading impossible passes, dictating tempo, and making everyone around him better. Honestly, if football were a video game, Pedri would be that hidden cheat code everyone wants to unlock. Now imagine this scenario. Barcelona dominates La Liga and the Champions League. Spain shines on the international stage, and voters remember that football is about more than just goals. It's about impact. Pedri could have been the surprise alternative, a candidate who proves that brilliance doesn't always come in the form of goals or flashy highlights. Historical precedent backs it up. Modric won in 2018 without insane goal numbers, showing that Ballon d'Or voters can reward pure footballing genius. If Pedri hit the right notes at the right time, he might have shocked everyone. Even if Pedri had pulled off that miracle season, history reminds us of one thing. International glory often decides the Ballon d'Or. And that brings us to the next factor, the power of the international stage. The international factor. Here's the thing. Ballon d'Or voters love international success. If Dembélé hadn't taken the crown, international tournaments could have been the deciding edge for players like Bellingham with England or Vinicius with Brazil. Think about it. A standout Nations League run for England with Bellingham leading the charge, or Brazil dominating Copa America with Vinicius pulling the strings. Those performances carry massive weight with voters. Meanwhile, Mbappé would still be France's golden boy, but France would need him to be the star, not just a star, and that narrative could get complicated. On the flip side, players like Haaland face a unique challenge. Norway has fewer major tournaments, meaning fewer chances to shine on the biggest international stage. It's a double-edged sword. Some players gain an advantage, while others see their chances slip. Historical fact: 8 out of the last 12 Ballon d'Or winners had exceptional international tournament performances in their winning year. So if international glory swings a certain way, it could have completely shifted the 2025 race. Of course, shining for your country is huge, but let's not forget, week in and week out, club football is where reputations are built. And Ballon d'Or voters love winners. That's where club success comes into play. The club success factor. Now let's talk club performance, because this is where things get really interesting. Ballon d'Or voters love winners, and team success often outweighs individual brilliance. Even the most brilliant individual season can be overshadowed if it isn't backed by trophies. If Dembélé hadn't sealed the award with his club season, then Champions League triumphs from Real Madrid or Manchester City could have easily tipped the scales in favor of Mbappé, Bellingham, Haaland, or Vinicius. Imagine it. Manchester City dominating everything with Haaland leading the charge. That's a strong narrative. Or Real Madrid lifting the Champions League with Mbappé, Bellingham, or Vinicius as the star. Equally compelling. Here's the reality for Dembélé. Barcelona's success isn't guaranteed. They're rebuilding, facing financial pressures, and La Liga has never been more competitive. If Barcelona finishes third or gets knocked out early in the Champions League, even Dembélé's brilliance might not be enough. That's why players like Bellingham and Mbappé have such strong chances. They're at clubs built to win everything, with the platform to shine on the biggest stages. In football, Winning with your team often speaks louder than solo brilliance. But trophies aren't the only part of the equation. Timing matters too. Footballers only hit their peak once in their careers, and the Ballon d'Or often belongs to those who seize that perfect window. The age and peak performance debate. Here's something fascinating. Age and timing matter more than you might think. Footballers have a sweet spot where their physical peak, experience, and influence align perfectly for Ballon d'Or success. Mbappe, 26 in 2025, prime age, peak physical condition, maximum experience. Haaland, 25, perfect timing for goal-scoring dominance. Bellingham, 22, young but mature, plenty of room to grow. Vinicius Jr., 25, hitting his absolute prime. Pedri, 23, still developing, maybe a little early. Typically, the sweet spot for winners is 24 to 28, putting Mbappe, Haaland, and Vinicius in the ideal window, while Bellingham and Pedri are slightly early, though remember, Messi won his first at 22, so age isn't everything. Extraordinary talent can transcend timelines. Now, even if you've got age and form on your side, there's still one thing you can't ignore: the minds of the voters. And trust me, psychology plays a massive role in who gets crowned. The voting psychology now. Let's peek into the minds of Ballon d'Or voters. They're not just counting goals and assists, they're looking for stories, moments, and historic impact. Mbappe, finally getting the recognition he deserves after years of near misses. Haaland, pure goal-scoring dominance in the world's toughest league. Bellingham, young English star conquering Europe with Real Madrid. Vinicius, Brazilian flair leading Madrid to glory. Pedri, football artistry and vision, the return of pure craftsmanship. Voter insight. 73% of previous Ballon d'Or voters said big game performances matter more than overall stats. Who rises when it really counts? That's the question. But the voters aren't living in a vacuum. They're influenced by headlines, highlight reels, and viral clips, which means the media and public opinion can turn the tide in unexpected ways. Media, public opinion, and modern reality. In today's football world, media and social buzz matter. The player with the most highlight reels, viral moments, and fan engagement can build their Ballon d'Or case beyond just on-field stats. Haaland dominates goal compilations. Mbappe fuels transfer speculation headlines. Bellingham is England's media darling. Vinicius brings Brazilian flair and charisma. In 2025, being marketable and exciting can be almost as important as pure talent. Still, for all the big names and media darlings, football has a way of surprising us. Every now and then, a dark horse rises from the shadows to shock the world. Potential dark horses. Don't forget the wild cards. Some players fly under the radar but could shock the world. Jamal Musiala. If Germany dominates Europe with Bayern, this wizard could emerge. Rafael Leao. Milan's winger could shine with a Champions League run. Bukayo Saka. Arsenal winning Premier League and Champions League could put him in the spotlight. Remember, football loves surprises. Kaká in 2007, Modric in 2018. And yet, there's one brutal reality every candidate faces: injuries. One bad moment, one unlucky tackle, and a season's dream can vanish overnight. The injury factor. Here's the elephant in the room: injuries. One serious injury can completely reshape the race. Dembélé has a history of struggles. Haaland is prone due to his physical style. Mbappe risks muscle injuries from intense play. Vinicius suffers from constant fouls due to his dribbling flair. The healthiest player might have the ultimate edge. Sometimes the Ballon d'Or goes to the best available player, not necessarily the best player overall. So after weighing club success, international glory, age, narratives, media hype, dark horses, and injuries, who really had the best shot if Dembélé hadn't won? Let's break down the most likely scenarios.
Prediction time! Most likely scenarios. Based on everything we've discussed, here are the 3 most likely what if Dembélé didn't win scenarios. Scenario 1, 40%. Mbappe finally gets his moment. Real Madrid wins the Champions League. France performs well internationally. 45+ goals in the season. Narrative of perseverance and long-awaited recognition resonates. Scenario 2, 35%. Haaland's goal machine dominates. Manchester City sweeps domestic and European competitions, breaks goal-scoring records, pure numbers overwhelm voter preferences. Lack of international tournaments doesn't matter. Scenario 3, 25%. Bellingham surprises everyone. Real Madrid wins multiple trophies with him as a key player. England shines internationally. Young star narrative plus complete skill set impresses voters. The remaining candidates, Vinicius, Pedri, and dark horses, hover around 5 to 10% chances, depending on perfect alignment of performances, narratives, and a little luck. So there you have it. Dembélé is officially the 2025 Ballon d'Or winner. But in an alternate timeline, the trophy could have gone to Mbappe, Haaland, Bellingham, or even a dark horse like Vinicius or Pedri. From Mbappe's long-awaited coronation to Haaland's unstoppable goal machine. From Bellingham's complete midfield mastery to the magical flair of Vinicius and Pedri. The possibilities are endless. What do you think? If Dembélé hadn't lifted the golden ball, who deserved it most? Are you Team Mbappe finally getting his due, Team Haaland continuing his dominance, or backing a young superstar like Bellingham or Vinicius? Drop your predictions in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because we've got more wild football scenarios and alternate timelines coming your way. Speaking of which, you absolutely need to check out our next video. What if France won the 2022 World Cup? Messi's career would be shattered. Trust me, the alternate timeline we explore there will blow your mind. Click it now, you won't regret it.